Yo, how's it going, guys? It's White Boy Reactions coming back with another reactional video. Now today, we're diving into World of Warcraft once again. This is Safe Haven Cinematic. I think this is following on from the one we watched recently with Salfang in the cage, and the king guy came and spoke to him. So hopefully this one's going to be a bit more, you know, that one was quite kind of like a breaker in between, just letting know what's going on. And I feel like this one's going to start either getting into it, or it's going to, it's either going to get into it or start getting into it. So I'm quite excited to do this, guys. I hope you guys are. Without further ado, you know what we're going to do. We're going to get into it, shall we? Let's go. I'm quite excited for this one, guys. I'm not going to lie. The front cover looked pretty mean, so I'm excited. Interesting. Okay. Again, I might say things just because it's how my brain works. So, we'll talk about it afterwards, yeah?
So, this is home now.
Home.
He looks like Duratan.
Family.
Is that his son?
And where are they?
Not far.
This world. Well, it looks good. But it's wrong. Broken. Falling apart.
Wow, very powerful.
Just like the Horde. Do you know what she's done while you've been hiding?
I left
What's
that
that?
life behind. I'm no one's savior. I will not lead the Horde.
He didn't say to lead it, though.
I didn't ask. But
Hint!
I hoped you would at least fight for it.
Can't take on the big guys.
You were followed!
I followed them.
Oh, so much mic drop moments.
You and I, we don't get to hide.
Interesting. Oh yes. Oh yes. That was really good. I mean, obviously compared to the, you can only work with what you get given. Obviously, the one it was the last one before was very just kind of what's happening right now. It's like I say, it's a bit of a breaker. It wasn't much going on. It just wanted to let you know what's happening. And I think they kind of do it to change significance to the story. So obviously, again, there might be some videos which we need to watch before the big battle happen. I think there are some. And what we'll do is we'll finish this timeline, get to the most recent one, and then we'll go back and just quickly catch up on them. So I do apologize. We've done this very weirdly, but I didn't know there were other ones. So I apologize for that. But yeah, so it's like every time they've done like this sort of cinematic, it's like there's a big significance to it. So like, for example, let's go off the one from where we started. So the big battle, obviously it's a big battle. That's big significance. You saw Slavinus or whatever her name is, fighting. You saw the king guy, and it's all going on and on and on, which is cool. And then it went on to the Sarfangs in the jail, and we was like, well, how did it get to this point? And I think you guys explained that, which was great. And now it seemed like Sarfangs is with the king in alliance with them. Now he's gone to get the guy who looks like Duratan. Is that his son? Guys, let me know, is that his kid? Because I remember at the end of the film, he let his kid, or she let, it was the mother let the kid go down the stream. And I think that's him because he looks very split image, or it's not. Now let's actually get to the video. Now this is really powerful. So obviously this cinematic is called Safe Haven. Now I was going to quickly say this, and I don't know if this is true or false, so you guys can let me know as well. Some people relate Safe Haven to grain or wheat, and it's like food, innit? It's safe, it's peaceful. You have the ambient music in the background, and then watch this. It's all flowing. It's very peaceful. And then this comes along, like an orc, and it just literally disintegrates in like 2 seconds. So either that could be said in two ways. So that could be said that. Well, it could be said in many different ways, but let's just perceive it how I'm kind of taking this. I'm taking this as the first one as like, that it's saying it's safe haven, but it's not actually a safe, and this corn is representing their safety sort of area. Like as soon as something touches it, like an orc of strength or something, or just even like a foreign object was able to touch it, it would able to disintegrate in a couple of seconds. So that's one way of looking at it. The second way of looking at it is that obviously this is Sarfang. We didn't know that until the camera pans out and it shows him. But could he be looking at it as the Horde? The Horde looks like this quite, how do I explain this? Quite fluent in a respectable sense, and quite tough in the terms it doesn't look like a break, but as soon as something like gives it that little bit of force at the minute, it's just breaking apart so easily. Could that be what it is? So it's quite powerful, quite unique, but obviously the corn touching that, and then obviously it pans up to him, and I think that's what he's kind of thinking, maybe. So let me know what you guys think about that. So obviously, again, ambient music. He's walking obviously to his destination, but then the camera pans up. It's to show this is what the safe haven is. So this is a great sort of like shot. Obviously you have this little camp thing, and if you ever look at the orc sort of encampments and villages, or whatever you want to call them, or tribes, or wherever they like kind of settle with, obviously the Horde tends to mean like, if you ever look at Horde in all areas of the game and film industry, they tend to mean they're beasts, which they're orcs. Like in the Warhammer, it's chaos, and you can have a horde that basically they don't have a place, and that's the whole point of a horde, ain't it? So I think it's quite a nice sort of way of looking at. Obviously, he's going to see in the orc, because you can kind of see that the tents and the way the orcs sort of like infrastructure and structure in terms of their construction level. You can kind of tell it's that, but it's not destroyed. Look, it's very clear. You've got the floating mountains. You've got a lovely mountain background. There's wheat everywhere. It's no burn. There's no fire. There's trees in the distance. Not necessarily around. There's some here and there's there. It's just a very nice, melodic, safe haven. That's the whole point. So it's quite a powerful shot. Obviously, it turns to Blizzard Presents. That's a great time to kind of show in the intro. It's a great place to stop. There's quite a lot into that. Now, obviously, we move on to... I'm going to call him Duratan's son. And I think I looked him up once. Is his name Thrall or Thrall? Is that his name? Guys, let me know. Again, I'm going back years in secondary school, when I was a young teenager when I looked this stuff up. So let me know, guys, if that's Thrall. Maybe it was a bit later now, I can't remember. But it looks like he's sharpening like some form of scythe. I don't think this is. This is, now if you guys are in agriculture and farming and stuff, in real life, I don't know what the weapon, like the tools used, but it's like a scythe, but they use it to chop wheat. And I think that's what he's sharpening. And again, it's reinforcing that sort of irony. The fact that this giant hunk of an orc, who's clearly, again, either on Salfang's level, because the way he was talking to him throughout the video, obviously we didn't know at that point, but we're talking about now we've watched it all. It's quite ironic. This orc, battle-hardened warrior, supposedly, is now cutting wheat. And again, it's kind of reinforcing that orcs are also human. They want peace. Where again, when we watched the movie, they came in and they wanted to kill everything. They wanted to take over everything, destroy everything for the Fel. And again, I know that might not be related to the actual World of Warcraft timeline, so I do apologize if it doesn't. But I'm just telling you from my knowledge of what I've seen. And it's just a very nice way. I like the idea that they're trying to put a bit of humanize, I guess you could call it, if that's the right word to use, behind the orcs. It's a very interesting concept to take, and it does work very, very well. Because we saw that in the Southfang one, where he's actually asking help. He spared the king's life. He's now we suppose he's in alliance with him. He's helping them, and it goes to show that there are more than just these orcs that meets the eye. And I think that's what people like about him so much. So obviously he sees him and he's like, oh, for God's sake. And he's like, we go again. Obviously, again, reinforcing this is what... Either this is destroyed stuff or this is where he lives. I take it this is where he lives.
Home.
Yeah, I mean, I love the ambient music. It's so reinforcing the peace. Home, family, you know, not far. And in this world... Now, this is very powerful. This world, it looks good. Now, again, it's a bit of an irony. Because it's like these orcs come to take over and conquer... But they're not. They're kind of like changing. And I think if we just quickly speak about the whole of the Savannah's time. And do you know when he said, do you know what she's done while you've been hiding? Again, if she didn't do any of this, I don't think he would be here. I don't think he would be in alliance with the kings. I think this is all happening for the reason. It's actually changing this guy for the good. And I think after the war, if he survives the war, these guys could die for all we know for. That they will probably end up doing what he's doing and settle down, and I think he just has unfinished business. Do you know what I mean? He wants to put his mind at rest. Very powerful, but this is so good. So he goes, it looks good, but watch.
But it's wrong.
Now this is so powerful. Okay, well, listen. Broken. The bits of the corn things are obviously falling off, so it's starting to break. Then watch.
Falling apart.
The camera pans out, and the blurriness. I don't know what the correct terminology for that. So it pans up, and the blurriness again. I don't know what the correct terminology is for it. Pans out and falling apart. It looks like the world is falling apart because of the floating mountains. So powerful. And again, you guys might not understand that, but just in case you didn't, it's such a because what it's doing is creating the sense of emotion. So it's creating that sort of with the ambient music. You have the whistling. You have the actual world falling apart. The safe haven is beautiful, but it's being broken. It just adds that little spark into the meaning behind it. It's so powerful, and I really love it. And then it kind of comes back, and then this is where it kind of goes back into the orc sort of, you know, orc to orc. You know what she's done while you've been hiding. You know, I left that. Now, what is this symbol? Is this an orc symbol? What does this mean, guys? I just wanted you to can anyone let me know what this means? I'm quite interested in that. See, when he said, I will not lead the horde, I didn't predict what he was going to say, but it kind of made sense why he said it. I didn't ask to. So he's basically saying that he goes, I don't want to lead the horde, but he secretly does. Not in a sense of arrogancy. He wants to not deal with probably whatever he doesn't get like out of it. Whether he hates the killing, the war, the pain, you know, fighting for nothing like what Sarfang is doing. Maybe that's why he quit the horde. Or whatever. I don't know what the exact reason is. Again, guys, let me know why he quit the horde, why he's not leading the horde, because he wouldn't say, I will not lead the horde if he hasn't already led the horde. He's clearly someone of extreme importance in the horde community, or someone of great respect. Okay, so I really love that. And then he was like, I didn't ask. Great picture, by the way. So I really, really like it. Quite powerful, very emotional. But I would hope you would fight for it. And again, it's that reinforcing well, I mean, it could be the fact that he's willing to fight, but he just doesn't want to lead. He doesn't want that responsibility of the orcs behind him, because obviously, as I said, when you're a leader of the horde, everyone will literally die for what you go ahead. It's a hierarchical structure of that dictatorship, but they're respected and it's not frowned upon. And then of course he goes to lift up the anvil. He's then questioning it. He then stops. Doesn't stop because he can hear, by the way. I think he stops because he's like double thinking it. I think what he said is not really good enough. And then obviously these things came along. I don't know what these things are, guys. Are they assassins? Are they part of Sylvanus or whatever they are? Quite interested to find out what sort of people they are, but they've done the mask and I don't know what it is. So he goes, yeah, he goes, you were followed.
Followed. I followed them.
I followed them. And again, that is... Bless me. Bless me. Oh, sorry. No, again, that's reinforcing the aspect of we don't get to hide. And I think, does he say that? When does he say that? Yeah, we don't get to hide. It's quite powerful again. It's basically saying when those assassins came along, it's kind of contradictory again from the safe haven. Safe haven's supposed to be safe, like, permanently. There's no worries here. No one's going to come kill him. That's why he's very contempt, and he's quite... I don't think he's necessarily happy. I think he's got a lot of pain behind what he hasn't faced. And I think that's what the biggest issue is, but he's finding more pleasure being this sort of person. Maybe. We don't know, do we? But from what I've been shown, that he's getting more pleasure from being in this place and stuff. It's very interesting. But again, it's that contradictory that now there's assassins trying to kill him. So it's not really a safe haven. He then says you're followed because he knows that this is a safe haven, so it must be him. Because all of a sudden he turns up and they did, and then he was like, oh, I followed them. And again, reinforcing the fact you and I don't get to hide. And that must lead to them of significant importance and threat to whoever sent these assassins, which I think it's Sylvanus. So I'm very interested. And then again, that kind of just clicks in his head, and he's like, oh, all right, whatever then. Fuck you. It's like, right, you win. And then look, he didn't really necessarily double think. He like knew, look, bam. And one thing I want to know, he obviously smiled when he picked up the thing. Look, he like knew. He was like, okay, he's back. This guy's back. Why is it he had to pick up this axe? Okay, in order for him to know he was back. Is this like? I don't know how to explain this, but basically, if the orc, I guess it's like one of those things that if you hold this weapon, that means you're sort of back. Like without the weapon, you're not a soldier. With the weapon, you are. Is that? Do you know what I'm trying to get at, guys? Is this what he's trying to mean here? I think that's what it is. I think like this is the orc's weapon. You know, they all have the interesting variety of like very. I wouldn't say poorly built, but it looks poorly built, doesn't it? It doesn't look like the fine swords that you see on the Azerovian side, or whatever they're called, the Azeros sides with the very elegant swords and armor and stuff. They're very obviously brute again. Looks like a bit of wood put onto a bit of metal. And I think, again, that's reinforcing the fact he is going to fight for it and he's back. Very powerful, and I really enjoyed the episode, guys. I really, really did. I hope you guys have as well. And I hope I explained it as best as I can and I've analysed it. If you guys agree or disagree, you know what to do. Hit the comments and let me know. Yeah, I can't wait to see if there's any more. I think there is one. It was something, because I saw it and I haven't watched it yet, but it was something like Sarfang's Mock Garage. So I'm like, now after watching this, does he fight him? I hope not. So I'm so excited to go on one. I'm probably not going to do it today. Probably do it in a couple of days' time or so. But we'll definitely get to it. So if you guys have enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and comment. But that's it for me today. This is White Boy Reactions sign off the video, guys. And I appreciate all you guys' support in all the videos, like I always do. But I hope you have a good rest of your day. I'll see you in the next episode, guys. Peace out.